Ever wondered what's really behind the headlines? Or why certain theories just won't go away? Dive into the world of the No Name Podcast, your go-to podcast for unraveling the mysteries of conspiracies, politics, and everyday life. Each week, we blend our opinions, analysis, with some storytelling to uncover the hidden layers of our world. From the latest political intrigue to the most fascinating conspiracy theories, we bring you a balanced dose of skepticism and insight. Whether you're a seasoned critical thinker or just curious about the whispers that swirl around us, we offer a space where your questions are welcome and your mind can wander free. Tune in, spark your curiosity, and let's embark on this journey of discovery together. The No Name Podcast, where every episode is a new chance to think critically and see the world through a different lens. Don't miss out. Like, share, and subscribe today and join the conversation.
Hey, this is Jeremy coming to you from the No Name Podcast.
What's up, everybody? It's Dustin.
It's also Dustin.
Nope, Baby D. We refer to him as Baby D.
We call him the Trey stand-in, maybe. I don't know.
There you go.
There you go. So just say, it's your boy, Baby D.
Can't do it, man.
Yeah, Trey is still out of town this week, so hopefully he's having a good time doing the Lord's work.
You best believe when he gets back, though, he's gonna come back swinging.
Yeah, I'm definitely not gonna be here for that one.
We're not gonna be able to get a word in edgewise.
Yeah, it could happen. Time will tell.
Yeah. You just gotta have that button dialed up for him over there, though.
You are fake news.
I think that button's gotten worn out.
Oh, you've been, yeah.
In real life too, you know. Just
100%.
Oh yeah.
So I was thinking today we would just kind of talk about what's been going on, because it's been a pretty controversial beginning of the Trump presidency
2.0.
2.0, yeah. I'm trying to think of the right way to say it. It's like 47, I don't know, 2.0. I don't know.
I will say, thank goodness nothing happened at the inauguration.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
I mean, that was amazing, because I was really concerned about that.
Yeah, because I remember saying, like, I could see something happening, and I'm just glad it didn't.
Yeah, I was definitely stoked that was a non-event.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I was a little on edge myself.
Yeah, because there was a lot of stuff coming out about that, like, oh, don't go, don't be there, don't. I'm like, oh boy.
Yeah.
Well, you just felt like they were using the weather to cover up.
Right, why they were moving it inside and all this other stuff.
And who knows, because there's so many people were on to it, maybe that's why it didn't happen. I don't know.
Hey, we'll take
either way, I'm glad it didn't happen. What'd you say?
We will never know.
Yeah, we'll never know. There's so much stuff we'll never know.
We'll take whatever we can get, though, as far as the reason it didn't. So
yeah.
Like I said, anybody
take the chips they throw you. I mean, that's really it.
Anytime somebody wants that, you need to reassess your life anyway.
I'm telling you.
So Trump says he's promising the golden age of America a second term.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just reading from the headline.
Yeah. Yeah.
The man is nothing if not confident.
Yeah.
He is very confident.
Very confident.
He is.
So I think, while I was in Tijuana, which I'll talk more about that later on a different episode, but I was watching, I had to watch CNN at first, and all I kept seeing was the fact that they had, I guess he had pardoned all the Jan 6 people.
Right.
So I was seeing a lot of that.
All of them?
All of them.
Even the dude with the big wolf head thing?
All of them.
All.
So,
except for the lady who says she doesn't want to be part.
Yeah, the one lady. Well, she didn't accept it because she's no longer a Trump fan.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah,
that's wild, though.
That is wild.
That's wild. I mean, even if you don't agree, I'll take my pardon.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Like, I hate you, but thank you.
You're the worst.
I still wanted I still wanted to pardon Joe Exotic.
I know that he still
Joe Exotic wants him to pardon Joe Exotic.
Why is he not pardoned?
Of all the people, especially Biden, with his like 2,500 pardons or whatever it was.
Like, man, come on.
Joe Exotic could have been one of them. You could have gotten some points.
Come on, throw that man a bone. Throw him a bone. Come on. So he's never going to financially recover anyway.
So I'll tell you how I felt about Jan 6, and I was reading through some of the I was trying to read through the Spanish and understand what was going on, but I saw some of the people were saying these people at least did time. Yeah, it's not like a pre-pardon.
That's true.
Like Joe Biden had handed out all the pre-pardons where maybe you did something, maybe you didn't. These people have actually at least served time.
Right.
So now that they're out, and I was actually surprised to see this on CNN. Honestly, I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Is this almost
Are you sure you
balanced?
interpreted it correctly?
Maybe not. I don't know if maybe that's how I just see it in my head.
I
But
got a question.
how do y'all agree with that? I mean, do you agree that it's good? Do you agree that do you think it's bad? What are your thoughts?
I mean, I think, like you had said, they already served they served their time. They served their punishment. If he thinks that they served enough time and they served enough, then yeah, I think that should be fine. What I was going to ask you is, would you give up him taking away Fauci's pardon to go after Hillary for everything that she's done?
That's a
Yeah, you're going to get me talking about the Clintons.
That's a tough one.
Hey,
That's a tough one.
I would if he could
I'm
actually,
kind of on Baby D's wavelength though.
if he could actually bring her down, I'd say do it. I'd say let Fauci go and go after her.
Did the Clintons end up with a pardon too?
I don't know, but I think that
Not from Biden.
No.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I don't even really look at Bill as just evil. I look at Hillary as so evil, and I look at she has done so much evil in this world and in this country alone.
She's way worse than he is.
Way worse than Fauci.
Well, I don't know about
Bill's
Fauci.
just a dirty old man, honestly, at this point.
I thought you were
Bill's
talking
just
about
a
next to
pervert.
Bill.
Bill's just a pervert. I mean, we can.
Oh, you're talking next to Fauci.
Yeah, I'm
next to
talking
Fauci. I don't know, man. What Fauci did. I mean, he was responsible for changing this whole world.
Yeah,
I mean, crazy.
Yeah.
But you look at everything Hillary's done. In my honest opinion, she was in over her head and had her hands all in the Epstein stuff going on too. Not only that, you look at everything she did with. She just let those
Benghazi.
Yeah,
Benghazi.
Just, not my problem. Pretty much what she says.
Yeah.
Not my problem. I mean, you would rather let that go and put the old man in prison over COVID.
I don't know.
She's done so much worse. It's just my opinion.
That's your opinion.
Yeah, I think she's done way more. And
To
if that was
clarify,
a
this is not
possibility,
Baby D talking.
no, this is
OG
OGD. Okay, I would totally be on board with him letting Fauci go and bring that evil lady down once and for all.
Fair. Well, what did you think about Jan
So
6?
here's what
I don't even know what to say. I feel like that's like apples and oranges, honestly.
Yeah, well, it just popped into my head, so I was like,
Yeah, that's
which would
fair.
you rather?
Still apple and oranges.
Would you rather?
Yeah.
So,
I think the January 6th, no matter where you stand on it, either side, they did serve time, right? But whether or not they served enough, I can't really say. What I would say is nobody was killed or
Trey
hurt
would disagree.
in that. Well, yes, he would. We've talked about it. Okay, so even if somebody was, I think when you look at the potential, which I think you have to say, nobody can adamantly say, Fauci's responsible for certain things. We all have our beliefs, but the potential for what it would have impacted would be greater than that day. I think that people that want the Jan 6, those that participated in that to stay in prison, they look at that as an attack on America. So they feel like they should have stayed in. People for Fauci, they view it as he blew up COVID. He made all these problems for everybody. So I think it really just depends on what your perspective is. For me, I just think it's weird to pardon anybody before they've been found guilty of anything.
Yeah, that's
the truth.
To me, that's
bizarre.
admitting guilt. That's admitting that you knew they were guilty and you're letting them go or trying to protect them.
Yeah, I just don't, I mean, unless he did it, I think if you were to ask him, he would say he did it because everybody expected Trump to come in on a war path, right, in 2.0, trying to get everybody from the first time that affected him.
That's weird is that they said that the first time on his first term that he was going to do that, and yet he never went after old Hill Dog.
The thing is you look at Biden and you look at Fauci both, and they both did what they were supposed to do. And what I'm saying by that is Biden did nothing any more than he did his entire presidency. He did what he was told to do. Biden didn't have any power. He just basically did what the powers that be told him to do. Say what they tell you to say. Fauci did the same thing. Fauci did what he did because he was told to do so. I think he had an agenda. He had a script that he had to go by, and that's what he did. As far as Jan 6 goes, I'm like, yeah, they did their time, and I don't really look at that as being a crime on America. They went there originally, in my opinion, I think they originally went there to peaceful protest. I don't think there was ever any intention of any violence breaking out or anything like that. But they were being coaxed to do it. That's not an opinion. That's actual facts. We've seen video of it where the guy's telling them to do it.
Well, I'll tell you this: nobody that's in jail or that was in jail were the ones that were the cause of somebody dying. So I mean, that's
the point.
To what you were saying, because nobody that was in jail,
and that's not
was
an opinion.
The cause.
That's not.
No, that's facts.
That's facts.
Yeah. So I mean, to me, I'm like, hey, they did their time. Let's do it. I mean, we've released so many other people that are way worse than that over the past, I don't know, 7 days, if not longer. I mean, why not?
Yeah.
So
and with the Fauci thing, me saying that, I keep going back all the time to saying, to me, my opinion, COVID wasn't an accident. COVID was planned, and it's just my opinion. The virus was planned.
I mean, the timing was,
I would ask China to step up at this point because he was not pardoned in China, and if he actually did have something to do with that in the Wuhan situation, they could order him right on back.
Well, I have
take care of it from there.
I have seen that as a theory
of
what people, allegedly think will happen, but personally, I don't think it will.
It definitely won't. But if the Chinese people are listening, I implore you, send this.
Oh, you got bigger than me. I'm sitting here talking about Hillary, and you go over there calling out the big dog.
I don't think.
I'm just asking them to
about Clintons.
I'm just asking them to
do what?
I don't think it gets any bigger than talking about the Clintons.
I'll talk about the Clintons all day. I'm not.
I'm just asking them to do the right thing, which is call your boy in and
Yeah.
put him in front of the carpet.
As you use a Trey's term.
Exactly.
Your boy. Call your boy in.
So
I'm throwing out that Trump's our boy, and I'm like, I don't know. Anyway.
So what about the ending of birthright citizenship? How do we feel about that one?
I'm kind of with Baby D. I don't really agree with it.
Not a fan of that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think because it's when it's interwoven with Constitution in the way that it is, I feel like it gets a lot more dicey.
Well, now we're on a list that I believe the Constitution's a lie anyway.
I was gonna say, so why would you have a problem with it, right?
I have a problem with it on, like I said, I don't understand why he can't just edit it, because basically what you're saying is if they come over here with the intention of having that child here in the States and she's already due, then that child shouldn't be allowed to stay as a U.S. citizen.
Yeah,
I disagree with that just because I'm like, if you're coming here for the right reasons, you're coming here in hopes that child's going to have a better life than it would in Mexico.
Right.
And we are all on board with that. So would you want that child to have a better life than it would in Mexico? Sure. What I'm saying is if what you're saying, they should edit it and say, okay, well, you should come here if you're this far along before, not just right when you're due. You say they should be here for a certain length of time, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that was the hope.
Just edit it then.
Yeah.
Don't completely take it away.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they're trying to accomplish with that, to be honest with you. So I just kind of saw I'm still catching up on some stuff here. So
Yeah.
I mean,
in English.
it's been a busy few days.
Well, I mean, I think that's in every. I don't know about every country, but I know like in certain, like in Ireland, like if you're born in Ireland, you're an Ireland citizen.
Yeah.
You're born in Canada, you're a Canadian citizen.
Well, I know, like, for our military, if you're born in Germany, let's say, and your dad is stationed in Germany, you have dual citizenship, Germany and the United States. And supposedly you choose when you're 18. So,
Yeah.
Well, what's it going to be, though, if he's taking that out? Is he taking that out where if you're born in the United States, that doesn't mean you're a U.S. citizen? What qualifies you to be a U.S. citizen?
I guess your parents being a U.S. citizen.
I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's hard because, like you were saying, every parent wants their child to have the best chance. I think the struggle is, and maybe I don't really know again, I'm not a fan of it, so I don't really know what he's trying to accomplish with it per se, but I think the thought behind it is probably if a parent comes over, their child is born on the spot, that parent is now here as an American citizen, and that's kind of more so what he's trying to prevent than. But my question would just be, how often does that happen? Outside of, I mean, how often do you find a 9-month pregnant woman showing up at the border right on the time and taking a step over and popping out a kid? I
don't know.
I feel like it's pretty much of a stretch. So there's got to be a greater reason
I look at it also. He's not helping himself out, and honestly, I don't think he cares.
He
as far
100%
as
does not care.
He does not care as far as being in a favorable light on if people like him or not, really. But I'm saying he's not helping himself out with the people who don't like him and call him racist or all these other things, because he's already they go so far as to say, oh, he's like Hitler. Oh, he's like Hitler. Well, this isn't helping you out in that case, because Hitler is all like, oh, let's keep the bloodline strong with Germans. Everybody who's not blonde hair, blue eyed, we're going to get rid of them.
Right.
So this isn't helping him out in that light, is all I'm saying.
Optics are not something that Trump cares about.
He doesn't care. He's like,
Yeah. Well, what about the end of catch and release?
I'm all for rounding up the criminals. I'm just saying.
Well,
You have proof.
What a week for Trey not to be here.
If you have proof that they are criminals, then they need to go.
hey, I'm not mad
Especially
at it.
violent criminals. Have you heard about? I mean, most of the ones. How many? Well, there was one he's been convicted of rape like 9 times, and he hasn't been convicted only because he lives in a sanctuary city.
Right. And that's wrong.
Yeah,
That is so wrong.
I don't really know many people that have a problem with somebody who has committed crimes, especially major crimes, not being held in prison here in America with taxpayers having to pay for that.
Yeah.
I don't know many people that have an issue with that. I hope. I mean, and I think if anybody does, it's just because they don't like the person who implemented it, maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
But who wants their tax dollars to go to pay for somebody who's not even here, the way the process works, and now they've committed a crime, killed somebody, hurt somebody, stolen, whatever, and now our tax dollars are also going to pay for that.
It's terrible. It's a terrible system.
That
I tell you what else really annoys me too. You talk about the sanctuary cities is when I watch the shows, and I know this is actually in real life too. They have the diplomatic immunity or whatever. They just come over here and, just shoot people. They're like, oh, you can't touch me because, I'm part of the whatever.
Right.
I'm like, that's wrong.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be allowed to just be here, commit crimes,
Mm-hmm.
and have and
Mm-hmm.
nothing to show for it.
Yeah.
It's just, that's
I mean,
Choices have consequences.
exactly.
Yeah.
Where did
probably-
you lose your consequence? It just doesn't make
I'll probably catch a lot of flack for saying this because I'm more on board with Texas anyway. If you kill somebody, then what's the old school punishment for that?
He gonna line him up on the firing squad.
I'm just saying.
Hey,
like,
I'm here for an eye for an eye.
Okay, so I agree with you. I don't want an illegal immigrant or whoever commit these crimes and they be forced to go to prison, and then my tax dollars go to let them be basically staying in a hotel and feeding them and letting them watch TV and just getting to live and not have to work. That's what my tax dollars are doing. If you killed somebody, I don't agree with that. If you killed somebody and raped somebody and you molested children and all this other stuff, the punishment should fit the crime. And to me, that doesn't involve you going and sitting somewhere being fed and pampered.
Just enjoying life.
While I'm paying for all that.
It's free room and board.
Exactly.
Whether you're an
At some
illegal or
point,
not. Illegal or not. I don't care if you're a U.S. citizen or not.
See, I had to have
That's
that
it.
conversation with Trey a couple weeks ago because he was talking about, you don't have to have money. And I'm like, the only way you truly don't have to have money and can live a comfortable life is in jail. Like literally,
Yeah.
that's the only way that you live with no money and live a comfortable life.
Yeah.
You get food
Food every day.
You get water, you get bathroom, you
Shelter.
get shelter,
Think
you
about
get workouts, you get TV. I mean, sounds great.
Think about how ass backwards this is for a second. A man can go out and he can kill his wife and child and go to prison, get 2 life sentences in prison. But meanwhile, our homeless vets are out living on the streets and nowhere to go, no
Yeah.
food to eat. They don't do anything for them. But we're going to feed the murderer
Yep.
and the child rapist. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
I mean the system is for sure flawed.
Yeah, it is for sure flawed.
Yeah.
But then you have the instances where, and this is kind of going off a little bit of a rabbit trail, but you have the instances where people are later to have found been innocent.
Oh yeah.
So then it makes it really difficult because it's like, well, if you would have taken it and said, hey, eye for an eye, we're going to kill this person because they killed somebody else, but then 30 years down the road, you find out actually they didn't kill them. We have more experience now, more ways, more technology to be able to find out that they didn't do it.
Yep.
But we killed that person because we thought they had killed somebody 30 years ago. Then it becomes a little dicey. That's why, the whole, like, line them up on a firing squad, I struggle with that because even if it's just one or two people, I just am a believer in doing it for the one. So if you have the one person that was mistaken on that, it's a little bit of a
Well, I wouldn't
struggle.
necessarily line up on the line. I'd put them in the electric chair or lethal injection or something.
I think it's the end result's still the same.
Dead is dead.
I'm just saying, a little less barbaric, I guess.
Oh man.
But yeah, you get 20, 30 years down the road, and it's like, man, we killed another innocent person for.
I agree. I mean, I see where you're going.
Yeah.
It's really hard to find anything that's black and white nowadays.
That's for sure.
Yeah, it's a little difficult.
I would like to know how often that's happening anymore anyway, where we're putting the wrong person in or something like that.
I mean, it happens.
Yeah, I know it happens. I'm just wondering, like, percentage-wise.
I don't think
It's
it
pretty low percentage.
I think it goes the same exact thing he said. How often does that happen that some woman comes over here right when she's due to deliver and she
Right,
pops
right.
it out
Pops it
across
out.
the line? How often does that happen that somebody is
Yeah.
fault? I mean, it happens. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot, but
And that's kind of my point. Is it's just for the one type situation,
Right.
but
So there was a lot more Mexico ones, but the last one I want to end on, because I still am excited about it, is the Gulf of America.
I thought you were going to talk about the cartel being a terrorist organization. Now,
I'm a little sensitive about the cartel right now, so I'm sticking away from the cartel situation. But I've still got a little
Fair
bit
enough.
of in my head PTSD.
Fair
but
enough.
I really don't care about the Gulf of America. I don't really care if you call it the Gulf of America or Gulf of Mexico. I don't.
I just is it going to accomplish something?
Yeah, I mean,
My personal favorite was the Gulf of Bucky's, but if we're going to change it,
Oh my gosh, you're
to me,
You're so
I would
white.
truly.
to me, I really don't care if they call it the Gulf of Mexico or the Gulf of America. It does not matter. I just don't want them to go and conquer Greenland.
I mean,
Well, real quick on that, I think it goes back into what you said about before we hop over to Greenland. It goes back to what you said about Trump. He doesn't care about the optics, and it doesn't really bode well for what he's trying to say, to go in and try to change an entire body of water based on the country name of the people that everybody says he is racist against. So it was
it doesn't
interesting.
look good.
Doesn't look good.
Honest,
I think it's fantastic, but it doesn't look good.
You're right.
Got
Well,
a good
yeah.
ring to it.
Nobody,
you know?
yeah. I honest to God, I feel like the dude came in and just said, what can I do to piss off as many
everybody.
people as possible?
What can I
Give me
do
your
to
top
just give
10.
everybody the finger
And just
say,
started
"Watch
signing.
this."
He just started signing. It just,
And just
one
say,
after another.
Watch this.
That really is how this week has felt. Is
Yeah. I just want to blow it up.
just literally, y'all hated me and I loved it and I want more of it. Let me sign another.
So, how do you feel about the JFK, RFK, MLK releasing?
I love it.
Love. I don't understand why that would be a negative.
Oh,
Yeah.
I absolutely
I think
love
that's
it.
fantastic.
Absolutely love it.
I just hope that when it's released, it's not just a black sheet of paper,
Redacted.
like an entire black sheet of
Yeah.
paper, because every word is redacted.
Yeah, it's all
Yeah.
redacted. Yeah.
I just hopefully that's not what it boils down to, because that's one of my concerns.
I'm hoping that which like you had said, I don't think we're ever going to get the full truth anyway.
Never.
We're never going to get the full truth, but I hope that we get enough of it. I hope that they give us enough of it to actually we can kind of cipher what happened.
Yeah.
Not just keep going on of this is what we think happened. This is what I think. This is what I think. Everybody already knows what I think. But I'm hoping that whenever it comes out, they give you enough of the truth where you can see it.
I don't think you're going to get names.
No, I don't think you're going to
I don't think you're going to get any.
We could get agencies though.
Oh,
I
yeah,
feel
yeah,
like
yeah.
that would at least be good enough.
It'll be a government situation.
That's what I want to see. I want to see if that's actually
I want
true.
them to admit it. Just go up and show. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was an inside thing. For
There's
whatever
no way
reason,
it wasn't. There's no way it wasn't.
No, I don't think so.
But
You think all three of them?
So it's JFK, yes. MLK, yes. What was the other one?
RFK,
Oh, I said that one.
you said Jeff,
JFK.
Oh,
MLK.
yeah, probably.
Do
Yeah.
you think Oswald was framed for it, or do you think he willingly took the fall for that?
Well, here's the follow-up question. Do you think that the guy who shot at Trump's ear was framed, or do you think, I think it's the same situation.
Me personally, I think
He was
that-
groomed.
I think that I'm going to be on the outskirts here, I guess, or I'm going to be on the minority here. I personally think that whole thing was staged anyway.
By
Oh,
Trump.
Yeah,
Not necessarily by Trump, but yeah.
I still think that the
I
fact
think he was in on it, yeah.
I don't think he was in on it. I think that guy was in on it with the FBI, and that's
I don't
literally
think
where
they ever
I'll-
really meant to kill him. I don't think they ever really meant to take him out. I think if they had meant to
they
take him out, they would have taken him out.
absolutely meant to do it.
I don't think so, man.
Absolutely.
I think if they meant to do it, it would have happened.
They tried to. Telling you, they put their best shot out there, and unfortunately, it was a terrible shot.
Yeah, well, it was. But no, to answer the question though, I think that I think Oswald did whatever he did, but I don't think he did it on his own volition.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that.
So
I think that's probably right on the money. I would say all three of them are probably government agencies.
100%.
And to be honest with you, I think if this somehow comes out and shows that, that tells you everything you need to know about Trump's.
Yeah.
If this comes out and shows you that it was government agencies,
there's no way the Trump one wasn't involved. And like
either one of them.
it's one of two things for Trump. And I'm not standing on any line here, but it's either it was staged or it was government agency done, because the dude was chilling on the roof way too long.
Way too
Not
long.
to-
That guy
for it
was
to
up
have
there.
just
He could
been-
have. He could have had a picnic. I mean,
Yes.
just
Yes, there's no way that homie just jumped up there and just chilled.
Right.
Like it just, somebody was involved. Not,
Right.
whichever side you want to believe, but that was orchestrated. But the three that they've though are releasing, I feel like, or it will be highly redacted,
yeah.
highly redacted. But what they are releasing, those were definitely all inside jobs. I just don't think you can do any of those things without the government being involved to some capacity.
I don't think Lee Harvey Oswald shot JFK. I just don't. I think he might have took the fall for it. I think he might have been involved in it. I don't think he's the one that did it.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. I think he was involved in it.
Definitely, when you look at the trajectory of the
Oh my gosh,
all the
no.
stuff, it doesn't line up.
It-
It never
yeah.
has.
Absolutely not.
Well, yeah, I mean, the videos they keep playing right now, since they've announced that they're going to release everything, they're trying to blame it on the guy who was in the passenger seat in the front.
Right.
Well,
I
if
don't
you
know,
look
man.
at the video, and I think I sent this to you a while back, and I know we don't really need to go back down the whole JFK thing, but if you look at the video, whenever JFK gets shot, and you look at the video, his head flies
Backwards, yeah.
Yeah.
That would happen if you get shot from the front. They claim he got shot from the back of the head.
Mm-hmm.
He would go forward.
Right.
So that alone doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So
Weird.
yeah,
So,
not really weird, just lies.
well,
And not
it's
good
weird
ones,
to
though.
what they've
Yeah.
told you. How's that?
Yeah, there you go.
It doesn't. It's weird because of what they.
I want to get a fake news. They are.
You are fake news.
There you go.
So what about the what was the one? Electric vehicle mandate.
What is this one?
We're getting rid of the mandate to require you to
Oh,
get an
yeah,
electric vehicle.
absolutely.
Are we happy about that or
Get
upset?
rid of that. Get rid of it.
I mean, I have an electric vehicle, and I'm happy about that. I don't think anybody should be.
Why should you be forced to do anything?
That makes
Yeah.
that whole thing that made me not want to get one. The only reason I even got one is because I have to drive a lot, and
Yeah.
for gas purposes, and they're fun. Honestly,
But I don't-
I love technology,
Well-
but you should. I still love my gas cars, right?
Yeah.
You should not be forced to get an electric vehicle. That was always dumb, and I also don't think that it was ever going to help the environment the way people want to make you think it will. But that's a whole nother topic.
I mean, it can help to a degree, but
Well, until the batteries something starts having to happen.
Well,
Or just the
Batteries.
creation
What I
of the
mean is-
battery
Yeah.
itself.
the creation of the battery, that's what I was exactly going to say. It helps to a degree because you're not using fossil fuels, you're not using gas, blah, 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 blah. But they don't go in and tell you how much they're killing the earth by making these batteries and digging up the dam,
Yeah.
all that. So, no, I don't. I think it's great they're getting rid of this mandate, because if we're gonna go, all right, let's just say I'm gonna follow your league a little bit and say, yeah, the Constitution's real, and we live in a republic, and all this nonsense, and say, okay, well, if we do, then we should have the freedom to choose what kind of vehicle we want to drive. That right there is a communist move. You're mandating and dictating what I'm allowed to drive and what I
Right.
have to do. So no, I don't agree with it.
What about declaring a national energy emergency so that we can start drilling again? Are we happy about that?
Drill, baby, drill.
Drill, baby, drill.
You know what I mean, I think if we're going to use fossil
The
fuels
liquid
and we're going to
gold.
use anything, then we should produce it here in our own
Yeah.
country.
I mean,
Not
if
have
we
to
can,
rely on other
Yeah, why not?
countries to get our stuff as much.
It's jobs, it's resources. I think we all agree that the economy could really use some kind of help somewhere. I'm not saying that's the full answer, but
Yeah.
my God, something has to happen.
But I don't agree with going and conquering Greenland and then completely destroying that country to get their goods.
Haven't you ever seen how nice they put it back when they're done?
Oh my gosh.
They put it back nice.
Oh man.
You just spray some water out there, let it freeze over again. You're in good shape.
Ugh.
It's good.
If Daddy Trump wants Greenland, Daddy Trump's going to get Greenland.
He probably will if he wants it.
Wait, now, do you think if you had to choose one, I'm going to go with the had to choose one like you did earlier.
Yeah.
Would you rather have Canada or Greenland?
Canada.
Canada, 100%. It's
Canada.
right there.
It's right there. They've already built it. Canada's
And
already
it's
built
bigger.
up. It's already built up. You don't have to destroy. You don't have to destroy it.
We already have sports teams.
But we actually have a better chance of getting Greenland than we do Canada. So that's...
Yeah, it's true. Why are we conquering things? Like,
Why?
can we just chill?
That's what I said. Why are we conquering places?
Let's just chill.
I mean, think of how many years it's been since we've conquered something. Maybe the United States just needs a conquering, okay?
No, we don't. Ew.
We're conquering the Gulf of Mexico, okay?
If we're gonna live in the golden
How
era,
about,
of
Panama,
America,
how about the Panama
Take the
Canal?
water rights. I'd be down with that.
Yeah.
Because that whole that has not worked out the way it was supposed to work out.
And have you seen all the shenanigans going on with the Chinese over that, too?
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Yes. I don't like China being super involved in anything that is close to America.
Well, it's really weird how in bed the Chinese government is with the Mexican government over the past pretty recently.
Yeah.
And then this Panama Canal on top of that just kind of makes you wonder what the heck's going on.
I get real Pearl Harbor vibes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm all for the Panama Canal. To be honest with you, I think the Canada thing is just hilarious. He was just trolling, and then
100% big troll.
Greenland, I'm like, if it's up for sale, I mean,
I mean,
why not?
if they are selling their country,
I'm just saying,
then-
if it's literally up for sale and we could buy it and it has
if it literally
resources,
is up for
why not?
sale, if it literally is up for sale and they're going to sell their own country, then yeah, I'd rather us get it than somebody else get it.
The only thing that I think that we should be conquering at this point is actually the Panama Canal, because you look at a lot of that stuff that's for
sketchy.
for real little sketch.
Yeah, it's
so
I would 100% be on board with Canada and the United States joining together, but I just don't ever see that happen.
no, definitely not.
It's 100%.
But I mean, do you think
it gets joked about? But
do you think it's technically conquering the Panama Canal since we
gave it to
him?
Yeah.
I mean, we built it. We
No take
blood,
back
sweat,
fee.
and tears. No
Yeah.
take back.
yeah.
No. Never mind. I'm not gonna. Okay. Terrible reference.
What's the next thing here?
I think Trey would
Hey,
be proud of us. We're behaving very well, I
let's
think.
let Jeremy get on a tyrant here for a second.
Uh-oh.
How do you feel about your TikTok bubble getting busted?
My TikTok bubble getting busted.
Yeah, it got banned and now it's back.
Well, really, it didn't. I mean, technically,
It left for like
it
less than
technically
24 hours.
did
less than 24 hours.
But it technically did get banned. So
Technically.
You can't download it on the App Store if you don't have it.
News.
If you're gonna
that's
say
for you, Dustin.
on a
You are fake news.
Yeah, it got
Technicality.
banned. So it got banned.
technicality,
My bubble is not busted because it did get banned.
But
So
it's still
you were
here.
wrong.
but it's still here.
You were. It may be back. I didn't say it wouldn't be back. I just didn't think it was gonna be back that soon. But
It didn't go anywhere.
it did go. It left.
Yeah.
Nobody could access
Sunday
it.
morning, people were melting down. You know.
Yeah. Nobody could get to it.
I mean,
So
the whole, have you have
That's a
talked
hill
about-
that we're both
TikTok.
going to die on and not back down off of because it didn't go anywhere.
it went.
As someone who's never had TikTok, I do know a lot of people though that have made a living from it. So
Yeah.
I can see that perspective of it being difficult. But the people who are melting down because they weren't able to watch them anymore is
I mean,
just
I don't even have it anymore. I haven't had TikTok in months.
I never had. I never did because I knew I'd get addicted to it. Like when Vine was around.
Yeah, I used
my
to
age.
love Vine.
Oh my goodness, Vine was so good, but you couldn't stop. And I knew TikTok would probably be similar.
So the nice thing about Vine that they never changed was the 7 seconds. I mean, that was
Yes,
They never
that's what made it
changed
great.
it. That's what made it great.
Yep, I agree.
and TikTok they kind of ruined, and I lost interest in TikTok once.
Once
It's
they
like all of a
expanded.
sudden I see there's like a 5-minute TikTok. I'm like, I don't care
go to
about
YouTube.
this. Yeah, exactly. If
Yeah.
I want to really dive in, I'll go to YouTube.
Yeah.
This was supposed
Yeah,
to
I
just
agree.
be what was TikTok originally, like 30 seconds or something?
Mm-hmm.
But I mean,
15 or 30.
bring me back the 7 seconds. Like you had to do something great in 7 seconds. That was it.
Well, it forced people to be more creative.
Exactly.
I agree.
It was so much better. I loved Vine. I used to be a
Vine was
Vineaholic.
I don't even know
Never
how
had it.
Vine died.
I don't know either
It had to have
because
had
it was
bad
so
running.
great.
Yeah.
It was. Did you ever have Vine?
I didn't. Isn't it something like Snapchat?
Nah, bro.
No, it's literally just like
I bet
TikTok.
it's very similar.
I think that's literally how TikTok got their idea was from
It's
Vine.
It's definitely more like TikTok. people posted their.
But it was
thoughts on
only 7 seconds.
Yeah.
Like, and
I
there
mean,
was
I
no
remember that
extensions,
part.
no nothing.
I remember. I mean, I saw some videos off of it. I just never had my own.
I think it used to be advertised as the video version of Twitter or something like that. Because Twitter, that was Twitter had was it 120 characters or whatever.
Yeah. Musk has said, he's talked about looking at bringing back Vine, so we'll see.
I hope he does.
I think he's a little
that
bit
would be-
distracted right now, but we'll see.
How do we feel about Doge?
How do we feel about Vivek being bumped from Doge?
I was a little upset about that.
Were you surprised?
Not surprised, but I was a little upset
Uh-huh.
because I thought he would help kind of
Balance.
tame down a little bit.
He at least had some kind of political decorum to him. I mean,
Yeah.
I love Tesla, love SpaceX, I love Elon, but I think there's good balances, right? From personality types and experience types, and
Sometimes you have to have somebody bring you down a little bit.
you do,
Yeah.
which is why Trey and I are friends. Yeah.
I like Vivek. So I don't like that he got bumped from there. But
But how do you feel about Doge overall? The
I like
Department of
Con-
Government Efficiency.
I like the concept of it. If they can actually do it,
Yeah.
yeah. If they can actually do it, then yeah, I'm on board with it. But I do think Vivek should have been on there because, like he was saying, he can kind of calm Elon down a little
Yeah.
bit. And I think Elon needs to be calmed down because I'm on board with Trey when it comes to Elon. I don't really trust Elon.
Oh,
I don't trust Elon at all. I get bad vibes from Elon, and that's one of the reasons I've been talking so much about Trump is I feel like Trump's going to get influenced a lot by Elon, and
I don't see
not
Trump
happy
being
about
influenced by anybody.
I do.
That is true.
I think as long as they kiss Trump enough, he's gonna love him and listen to him.
I think here's and this is a little it's on the Doge comment or concept here. I feel like if you remember in Trump's first presidency, Trump 1.0, the beta version, he
Love that.
flew through staff.
Yeah.
I bet he kept some staff members for a week.
Yep.
Just remember it was always a revolving door. What will be interesting is if the moment comes that he and Musk bump heads enough that he kicks Musk out. I think that will be if that happens, who knows if it will. If that happens, that will be highly interesting to see how Musk responds because I like Musk just because of his products.
Right.
And it drives me nuts that he's as such a politician now. It's driving me nuts because I have investments in Tesla. I own a Tesla. I'm like, can we just, you're killing me here. But I
don't
think
see your Tesla hoodie on, so
well, it's parked outside.
okay.
But I think that if that happens, to see how he responds to that will be very, very interesting because I think everything he's doing is 100% for himself.
That'll be the tall tale sign of
will.
what he was in for.
100%.
I don't really think that they're going to bump heads a whole lot. And the reason I say that is because I think Elon is so smart enough to know as long as I keep stroking Trump's ego enough, we're going to be fine.
Yeah, but don't you think his ego might be bigger than Trump's?
It is.
Oh,
It is.
So how
But I
can
also
someone
think-
how they
whose
both
ego?
sit in
It
the same
is. But
How
I
can you
also
have
think
someone
he's
whose
smarter.
ego is bigger than?
It is, but I also think he's smarter than Trump.
Oh well, I'd probably give you that one.
Oh yeah. But Trey would actually tell you that Elon is not smart.
Oh, I know.
True.
He thinks Elon is an opportunist, a great opportunist.
In a way, he is on the things that he's done, but you can't build yes.
You can't build everything.
You can't build
done.
the empire that he has built
And
without
not
being
be
smart.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Now, do I think he's engineer smart? Not necessarily.
No.
Do I think
No,
you
I
could
don't
put
think
him in a room and
No.
build it? No. But business wise, I don't know how you could say-
Business wise, probably ideas.
I think
Yeah.
Elon's an alien.
Could be. I mean, we saw him reboot the other day.
Right? Oh.
I couldn't even understand it in English, but I saw the reboot.
No, I don't think Elon's an alien. Like I said, I just get bad vibes from Elon. I don't think he's really that good of a person. So
So what about restoring freedom of speech and preventing government censorship? Are we happy about that?
100%.
Yes. In a way, right? I don't like hate speech. However, and actually Trey and I have had extensive conversations about this.
We have to.
Yes, you have. That's true. I think that I love the way that X does it, right? Twitter, X, whatever. How community notes, right? Where people can post the truth.
Right.
I don't like where it automatically the organization decides that they obliterate it off the internet because then they're getting to choose what's there. I like how people can now post on X and say, actually, here's the fact for this. Back when it was just getting removed on its own and no. Do I think people should just be able to go and start Dropping hate speech everywhere? No, I think I should. So there's like a fine line. You know, I'm a little gray on the area, to be honest with you.
That's fair.
Yeah. I don't know it's one of those things that I don't speak to a lot because I don't know of a perfect solution. And if I don't know of a perfect solution, I don't really like to.
Unfortunately, I'm just full libertarian on it, which is going to be.
Just let it.
I don't like it. I don't agree with it, but it is what it is.
100%.
I mean,
What, censorship or the lack of censorship?
Lack of censorship.
Yeah,
I don't agree with hate speech. I hate hate speech, honestly. I mean, I really do. I think it's ridiculous. I mean, I've been hate speeched my whole life for being fat and a ginger and everything else. I mean, that you could think of. I mean, I was bullied like crazy. I'm not a hate speech fan, but that's their right to do it. That doesn't make them a good person, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, but that's what we are as a human, as a United States citizens. We're supposed to be free. So if you want to be free to be a hater, then I guess you're just a hater, and people just have to see you for who you really are.
I mean, I guess that's what the block button is for.
Exactly.
Yeah, I 100% agree with Jeremy. 100%. I think if we're going to be free and have freedom of speech, then you
Yeah,
they don't say you're free to a degree.
I do think from a standpoint of your favorite thing of the Constitution, the law, and just being in the country, I do think that censorship is definitely a no-go, right?
Yeah.
Because you can't say you're free to do.
Well, it's like, where do you
whatever.
draw the line?
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
As a person with compassion, I don't
Yeah.
like to see hate.
I don't either.
And so that's why I'm saying it's just this. There's a fine line, and it's really hard to walk, because how do you determine what is too much hate speech that has to be removed from the internet? Like, how do you determine, like, calling somebody fat, or is it like calling them vulgar names? You know, or
Right.
where is the line? So it is difficult.
Well, they mastered that. That's the whole thing's a facade anyway. You have freedom of speech. You have freedom of everything to a certain degree, as long as you would stay within these guidelines and these boundaries that we have set.
Yeah.
But that's the
And
problem.
told you what is appropriate and told you what you are allowed to do.
You're
Because
free.
Once you cross that line, you're blocked.
You're free to be
Shut down.
controlled
Yes.
by us.
But that's been my problem this whole time with the last regime that we've had, is that they do have those boundaries and those guidelines that you're free within, but they won't tell you what those are. It's like I told Trey before. I said, if they would just tell me what it is, most people can color in between the lines. They just have to know what lines they're coloring in between.
Well, you're still not going to
And
get
that's
that
where a
now.
lot of the problem-
You're still not going to get that now. The only difference in that last regime and this regime is that last regime told you they were putting those boundaries there and told you you're not going to be allowed to do that. This one, they're going to say that we're taking those away and you're going to have full freedom, but you're not really. You're not really. They're just not going to tell you that. When you cross those lines, you'll still get censored too.
I think the problem with the censorship that happened is it seemed, and now, you know, the CEOs of these companies have come out and admitted, it seemed that the censorship was very one-sided.
Yes.
And I think that is where it came into play of they're not really censoring to try to get rid of fake stuff. They're censoring to try to build a narrative.
Right.
And I think that's where the issue came in. You know, you can't just censor one side
Yeah.
very heavily. You can't tell me that the other side, everything they're saying is true. And we're just going to let it fly. So I think that was my issue with it, is that they really picked and chose which side was censored.
Oh, 100%. It's just like with our YouTube videos. Our YouTube videos, they're getting blocked by these people who aren't even listening to the entire episode. They're pinpointing it off of certain things that are in the words of whatever our show is about. If it's got,
Which I think they got that cleared up, by the way. I think
you did.
Yeah,
you
I
did,
got it.
but you had to change some things in order
Yeah.
to get it.
Which is crazy. Like, I had to put in a, what do you call that? An appeal and all this other crap. I'm like,
Yeah.
you people suck. Like,
So,
Get a life.
oh, man. But let's see. What else do we got? Reinstating the military members who are penalized for not getting vaccinated against
oh
COVID.
gosh, reinstate them.
Yes. I mean, come on.
I mean,
Can we all?
we had to do an executive order for that? That's
What-
crazy to me.
Yeah. Can we just? Can we not be forcing people to put stuff in their body that's not even
Right?
fully tested? I mean, you can get it if you want, but like telling you that you can't be in the military without it is absolute insanity.
That's garbage.
Insanity.
Yes,
So I was happy to see that one.
ridiculous.
How about tariffs? Imposing 25% tariffs on Mexico and Canada on February 1st.
I'm a
And I
wait
don't-
and see kind of guy on this one.
I don't see what it said about China, because I feel like I recall China's being less than 25%,
I think it was less than 25%. I don't remember what it was, but I think
maybe
it was
15 or something.
15 or 20.
But I thought that was weird that it wasn't the same across the board. Because when I was in an argument with Trey, I think I was on last episode or something. Maybe it was 2 episodes ago. I was using that as a arguing point of everybody's getting the same tariff across the board, and then I just got stiffed on this one, and I'm a little annoyed.
If I'm not mistaken, I think you won him over a little bit on the tariffs.
I did.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, in addition to that was establishing the external revenue service.
I love that.
Yeah, like, that's great.
I love that.
But I'm a little annoyed at the fact that it wasn't the same tariff across the board, and I need to find out why that is, because I don't know why China's getting a break. That bothers me a little bit.
Look at how many goods we get from China.
It doesn't matter to me, though. If
it doesn't matter to you.
If it was going to be 15% to China, it should have been 15% to Mexico and Canada. Or if it was going to be 25% to them, it should have been 25% to China, regardless of how much we got. It should have been the same across the board.
I agree with you on that. It doesn't matter to you. It does. I mean, that doesn't matter to me, but it matters to them, and that's exactly why they did it.
Okay, you want to talk optics? It doesn't look good.
No,
the fact that China's getting a break.
But it's because China's more important to us than Mexico. China's more important to us than...
It just doesn't look good, especially when you're coming off of this last regime where the whole family's lining their pockets off of external dollars.
You got to remember,
so
like what Trey had said,
it doesn't look good.
The majority of our pharmaceuticals comes from China. The majority of our goods, period, comes from China.
Right.
So you're going to cut China a break more than you are anybody else. You are.
But they should be cutting the same break for everybody because it just doesn't look good. But like we said, Trump doesn't care about optics.
He definitely doesn't. Yeah, he does not. And I'm sure that there's some explanation we should research.
Well, you got to look.
But this is why
Trump's a businessman.
Yeah, there's got to be a reason.
I know there's a reason. I'm just interested to know what it is.
This is why I'm wait and see on it. I can see both sides. At first, when I heard about the tariffs, I was like, oh, let's freaking go. This is going to be awesome. And then I saw the other side of it, like, well, that's just going to drive the prices of everything up because if they're getting charged X amount of dollars to import it, then they're going to raise their pricing. So then I'm like, well, that kind of would suck. So that's why I'm wait and see. I don't really know. But at first, I will say I was gung-ho. Let's do it,
Well, that's how we used to pay taxes when the country first started. Yeah, it was off tariffs.
Yeah.
So I'm like, let's do it.
Yeah.
Bring it on. Because last time he raised the tariffs on China absorbed it. So who's to say that they won't do it again?
And maybe that's why theirs is lower than Mexico's.
Maybe they got a little, hey, you helped us out last time. You can do it again this time.
Yeah. I think when it comes to Donald and the tariffs and why somebody got higher ones, I think on that level, we're on a need to know basis, brother. And we don't need to know.
I would like transparency.
I know. But
I love transparency.
Yes, I agree.
So I got to the extend the deadline of TikTok, 75 days.
Yeah.
So let's see how that goes.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll have this conversation again in a month and a half.
We'll see.
Yeah.
It's going to survive, Jeremy. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. I think
he extended the deadline for them to be able to buy it or somebody to buy it. I guess.
Somebody's going to buy it. It's not going anywhere. Somebody will buy it. I just hope it's not Elon Musk.
Well,
I would prefer him to bring Vine back. I think that would be a better use of
I'm in agreement on that.
Because then,
what do you think of my post I shared on our Facebook page where I was like, everybody's nervous about TikTok. Meanwhile, Alexa's over there in the corner just chilling,
just listening to everything.
I mean, it's the truth.
The real reason they're upset with TikTok, it's not because of what TikTok's doing. It's because China is getting the information and they're not. If they were doing it and it was reversed, they wouldn't want TikTok to go away.
Yeah.
No, it's 100% true. Yeah. But here's the thing. It's not from an informational standpoint because I have Alexa, and I mean,
I do too.
I remember getting in and everybody's like, oh, she's listening to you all the time. I'm like, you know what? At this point.
So are these.
Yes. At this point, everything.
Those definitely way more than
the same amount.
No,
these
are way less than those.
Garden of Eden Apple product.
Oh my goodness. Oh Lord Jesus.
Oh Lord Jesus.
Didn't know you had an Android. That explains so much. All right, we can start calling. All right, from now on, you're Baby D.
Oh, is that right?
That's wild, man. That is wild.
I don't know what happened.
So much better.
He used to be on the right side. I don't know what happened.
So
that's wild.
It's so much better.
Weird.
But yeah, at this point, everything you're saying is always listened to. So it's not from that standpoint. It's definitely, I agree with you that if the roles were reversed and America had TikTok here and was listening to everything and able to getting all the information, it'd be a whole different ballgame.
Oh yeah.
So how about the hiring freeze that we did for federal employees?
I'm fine with smaller government.
Yeah.
Smaller government's always better, in my opinion.
I want my friends that work in the government to keep their jobs,
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
but
I mean,
I'm fine with a hiring freeze.
I mean, it's like I've said before. I think there's quite a few agencies that we could shrink down, and there's some that probably just need to be left alone. So there's
Either way, they need to put term limits on certain areas in the government.
Congress and Senate for sure need.
I mean, come on, man.
huge.
You should not make an entire lifetime career.
No. Yeah, that's a 100% given. I agree with that. But I also know a lot of government employees that,
Yeah, I know a few myself, and
but
I
I
don't-
know a lot that don't work.
yeah, absolutely.
It's tough.
Well, I mean, for now, it's not shrinking; it's just freezing.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
There's been no shrinkage, just the freezage.
But the fear
Yeah.
tactic is, but the shrinkage is coming.
Right.
Could be. There could be.
It's gonna get cold.
It's gonna get cold. Watch the poll. Jeez.
It'd be hilarious is if they changed the name from where certain people work, if they change it to have something to do with Tesla or X.
Oh man.
I don't think it's very far fetched.
Oh man.
So
I am curious to see how ingrained Musk becomes with.
He's
Trump's
going to. And that's why,
process.
I mean, this is me personally. I just think he's going to. I think he's going to have way more influence on Trump than y'all think he's going to.
well, could be. I don't know.
And that's
I mean,
just me because everybody always looks at me as doom and gloom, Dustin. But I'm just telling you, that's just what I think. That's what I see.
Well, if I had an Android, I'd be doom and gloom too.
Hey, well, you got your Apple product that was based off the Garden of Eden. I was just saying.
have you heard this theory before?
No.
It is.
You gotta go ahead and break it down because
It
I gotta
is.
be honest. Me and Trey were both like, yeah, "That's a good, valid point."
It is.
Okay.
Everybody calls androids evil. Meanwhile, you have this big, huge, multi-billion-dollar company that's Apple
With a bite taken
with a
out
bite
of it.
taken out of it,
Checks out.
and nobody ever puts the dot. They connect it back to the Garden of Eden.
That actually checks out a lot.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that kind of hit me hard a little bit. I was
It's
like, I
almost
have
like
no
they're-
response for that.
It's almost like they're giving you a finger, and not even you don't know they're giving you a finger.
I mean, now that I know, I still don't care.
Yeah.
No, definitely not, because it's still a superior
I
product.
don't really know how it's superior, but okay.
I mean, at least they're going.
I
to
like
bat
your
for you.
iMessages, but now we have the RCS messages. So,
Yeah.
Which are terrible and they never work,
Right.
especially in Mexico.
And they're still green right now.
I mean,
Yeah.
mine don't actually show up any color. Or at least I don't see the color whenever.
So, how about DEI?
I don't really have a stance.
That's a big one.
It's a
Because
huge
I
one.
don't
It's
even know what you're really talking about.
Probably one of the biggest ones,
It-
honestly, that I think has caused that and Jan 6.
Explain it though, so
Yeah.
I can have a stance.
Oh,
on it.
I think DEI has been way bigger than Jan 6 for sure.
So
Because
DEI,
when I hear DEI, I still think of Dale Earnhardt Incorporation.
Diversity, equity, inclusion.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
so basically, I'm not against DEI. What I'm against is the jobs that we created, federal jobs created for DEI. And then I also think that penalizing companies because of not having enough DEI is wrong. So
Yeah.
that's what I have to say about that.
Yeah, I think that it's like anything really is. I think a lot of times, I shouldn't say anything, but a lot of times stuff starts out as a great idea, and then it gets hijacked, right? And it gets taken advantage of and turned into something bad, right? So I think that potentially there are some places that took advantage of a good thing, right? Because I love diversity, I love inclusion. I think that maybe in some places it got taken and turned into a thing. But I think that the scary thing is if there's not held to certain standards, that you're going to have some organizations, some bosses just skipping over people because of their name, skipping over their people because of where they were born, skipping over people because they don't look like them. And that's, to me, that's the scary thing.
Well, I think when Trump signed that specific order and he said the United States is going to hire based on merit, And I understand that a lot of people, and I agree with that 1,000%.
Yeah.
Is that we should be hiring based on merit.
Yeah, for sure.
But I know that a lot of the people that are upset about DEI say there's never been merit because of their name or where they're from, etc.
Yep.
And I understand that, and that's wrong.
Right.
I'm not saying that that is right, because it's not. That's 100% wrong.
Absolutely.
I think that when we create jobs just to seek that out, though, and then it's not based on merit, it's based on who you are, where you're from. I think you're still kind of creating a problem instead of fixing the problem. The problem is make it out of merit.
Yeah, I think that what would have been great is if instead of just dismantling it, having some kind of another plan to come in to have protection parameters in there against it. You know what I mean? Because I feel like just completely removing it altogether, you got people who they're literally going to look at somebody's name and say, yeah, nope, don't want to see them, don't want to see them, don't want to see them, even though they may be far more superior for that position.
Well, like even on a job application, why are we still asking what race you are?
I agree.
Why are we still asking
I agree,
what,
100%.
like all these different questions?
100% agree. Warren Buffett does it the best way. He doesn't look at the race, the name, any of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
He just looks at the criteria, what they've done, what they've accomplished, all their accolades, all that kind of stuff, and then makes the decisions. To me, that's the way that it should be.
Right.
Yeah, it
100%.
should be based off of who's more qualified for the position. It
Yep,
doesn't matter about
100%.
race or anything else. And if you keep it, and those people's arguments on wanting to keep it, it's like, okay, well, how at that point, how do you know if you got the job because you were more qualified for it, or you got the job based off of your race?
Right.
When you want to know that you're more qualified, you got this job because you were more qualified than everybody else.
Yeah, I think the concern is just some people who are more qualified not getting the positions now because of their race.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's the thing I'm apprehensive on, it just being completely dismantled.
Yeah.
I do agree. Like I said, I just think that, you know, anytime the government's involved in anything, it's never good.
It's never cut and
Right?
dry.
It's never cut and dry. It's never just like smooth, right?
Right.
There's always crap. And I feel like that's what happened, is this great idea of, hey, let's make sure that minorities are getting the fighting chance, getting the same chance as everybody else, because they should. That's a great idea. And I think it started to be implemented, and then all these other things got thrown on top of it, probably became a little bit more than what the original thought and idea was meant. But now it's just completely gone.
Yeah.
And so now it's kind of opened back up, kind of the wild, wild west again, where you just, you know, you may have some, of course there's bosses with integrity that are going to hire somebody based on merit. Absolutely. But then you're going to have a lot out there that aren't. And
Right.
there's no protections against that now.
Well, that's just like having good cops and bad cops, though. You've got, good cops and you got bad cops.
But now it's less policed. There you go.
It's
So,
definitely less policed.
yeah.
I agree with you. I think it's a good idea. I think that this concept was just flawed. So, yeah, maybe it doesn't need to go away, but then they need to come up with a new one.
Yeah. I
Try
just
to
think,
figure out a different one that's actually going to work.
yeah.
How about if when you filled out a job application, a name wasn't required, an address wasn't
Let's
required,
just give you a number.
give you a number.
I agree.
Like, just this is a number, and
Yeah.
this number links back to this person.
But here's the flip side. So they do that. Then the person shows up for their first day at work,
True.
and they don't look like what the boss thought they were going to look like.
They're going to come up with a reason to
They're going
fire
to come
them.
up with a reason to fire them.
Yeah.
So it's just something has to be in place in a protection standpoint, in my estimation. But again, I don't know that the way it was.
Yeah, I
It's the
think
perfect
creating an
solution.
entire agency over
Yeah.
it, and then there just being all this inflated stuff around it was not the proper way to go about it.
That
Well,
question's
it's like-
going to be asked, though, the same question that got asked with the citizenship one. How often does that happen?
I think that happens
You think
more
it
often
happens
than
a lot?
we.
It happens a lot. Yeah,
I think it
Absolutely.
happens
definitely
a lot.
happens a lot for sure. Yeah, I definitely think it happens a lot. I kind of equate it to this. You know, there was the Black Lives Matter movement, and then there was Black Lives Matter, the organization.
Yeah, nobody likes the organization.
The movement, great. The organization, nobody.
Yeah, trash.
So I think that it's kind of the same case here. Is like, I think DEI as a concept is important, and everybody should be able to get behind that.
Yeah.
I know everybody won't, but they should. But the organization of DEI that was created, there's probably some bad actors in it,
Oh yeah.
you know, and making it not work the way that it really was intended to. So all that to say, again, reiterate, if you're going to take something like that away, you can't take it away completely. There needs to be a better solution to be.
Yeah, you got to
found.
figure out a way to kind of
Yep.
to replace it with something. Yeah, I agree.
Because
with
I love
that.
the idea. Like, you don't put your race, you don't put your sex, you don't put your name, anything, right?
Yeah.
You're just a number. But the problem is you're going to show up for day one of work and they don't like the way you look.
Well, is there any other anything that I missed that y'all have heard about?
No,
Those were the big ones for sure.
Yeah, I can't think of anything.
Because I recall that there was, I feel like I heard thousands or something. Is that right?
I think he did. I think he.
Yeah,
he's
it was like
found a lot.
178 or something the first day. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure. I don't know where we're at
He's found a
now.
lot.
Okay. Because like I said, I missed most of it. So I'm still playing catch up a little bit.
This is the one thing I will say about these first 4, however many days, is probably more than ever before. A guy came into office and literally did exactly what he said he was going to do in like record time.
But this is the thing that he did on beta term too. And
you're
this
right.
is why, but I'm saying this is why I was like, I'll vote for him again because he did it the first time. So who says he wouldn't do it the second time?
But and so my thing is, my point to that though, because you just made it, is because I mean this week has been you got a lot of people that are shouting, right? You got a lot of people who are cursing, and some of the people who are cursing are people that voted for him.
And he said he was going to do these
He said
things.
he was going to do it, and in beta version, right, he did the exact same thing.
Right.
So he laid out everything he was going to do, and you still voted for him. At that point, you kind of got to.
Well, that's part of what I was catching on CNN when they were talking about the Jan 6 thing was like, people voted for it. He said he was going to do this from the beginning.
Right.
So if you voted for him, then you voted knowing you were about to release these people out of jail.
Yeah.
You knew that you were about to end DEI.
Right.
Because he said he was going to do all that.
Yeah. And there's a
So-
lot of other administrations who have said they're going to do things like remove student loans and all this kind of stuff. And, just saying, went through 4 years and it didn't happen, and a whole nother topic. But so in
Cure
what,
cancer, too. That was on.
and
Oh my
was that
gosh.
seriously? a
He
thing?
said he was going to cure cancer.
Who?
Biden.
What? An
Well, I
idiot.
think the cure to cancer is out there.
Thank you.
They just
It
want
is.
people to keep dying.
Yeah,
That's a whole
exactly.
nother.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Yeah, we could talk about that. But
Exactly. Well, we did.
oh yeah, that's true. But yeah, I think in a way, like it or hate it, it's refreshing. I'm on the outside. I'm Switzerland. Okay, it is a little refreshing though for somebody to say they're going to do something and then actually do it. Whether you don't like it or like it, it's better than somebody who comes in on false pretenses.
Exactly.
In that regard. Now, if you don't like the things he's doing, then there's arguments about that. But nobody can act surprised that what has happened.
I've said it and I'll say it again. I think so far so good. I think so far so good. I thought he did a great job his first term. I voted for him again because regardless of what anybody has to say, he's doing a hell of a lot better job than the alternative would have done. I don't care if you disagree or agree. I don't care.
Well, I think that was just, I think those votes were, anybody voting there in this election, they pretty much had a lesser of two evils was the way that everybody was looking at it probably.
Fair enough.
And I've said it again. I'll say it again. I like Trump. I think Trump actually does care about the country. I think Trump wants to do good. He wants to do the right thing. I just am afraid he's going to get influenced. That's all.
Well, one of the last things that I saw, and y'all brought it up, but I poo-pooed it, designate the drug cartels and gangs as foreign terrorists. We good or bad? Yeah. A round of applause?
Yeah,
Yes?
why not?
Okay, good. I like it.
They're huge, man.
It's huge.
They're huge. And everybody's fooling themselves if they don't think that the drug cartel is in cahoots with terrorists.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
100%. Smuggling them over here,
And China.
correct.
Just for the record.
Correct. We are fully infiltrated at this point.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But
I
yeah,
mean,
so to me, I mean, if they're going to play that game, you have to be designated in that regard so that the proper channels can be used to try to shut it down.
yeah, that's pretty awesome. I was pretty
You
happy.
gotta look at how big it is, how huge it is.
Yeah, it's massive.
How are you going to take it down?
Well, you couldn't have without the resources that they now have by claiming it as a terrorist organization, because that opens up a whole plethora of new.
Money.
Yep.
They should take some of that NASA money and send it
Take some of that-
over there to get.
Take some of that X money. Take some of that X money. Trey be on the rooftop streaming at, take his money.
Take Elon's money? Oh, yeah, he definitely wants that going. But please don't, because that's my money. I've got investments.
Right?
He's got, according to Trey, he's got so much, but it wouldn't hurt.
But it would hurt the investors.
Yes.
We have an investor over here.
That's right.
Yes, you got to watch out.
That'd be deep.
Well, thanks everybody for listening. Sorry if it was a hard episode for some people, but you know,
I thought it was a party.
I thought it was a good.
that's what we do.
Like I said, when he comes back, he's gonna go on a tirade.
I will make a time in my calendar to be here that day.
Okay. Are you really?
It depends on what it is.
Well, we try to shoot for Fridays.
Oh man.
You are fake news.
That's for you. Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate everybody for listening. We'll talk to you next week.
Yeah, man. Remember, truth's out there. Read between the lines. Yeah.
Deuces.
Yeah. Why don't you give us your best Trey?
What's up, man?
There you go.